after hearing everyone today's topic, I get a feeling there is a very thin line of difference between karma, akarma, and vikarma.
Yes.
I was thinking about an example of let's say a pest control guy.
Mm.
Huh? He is coming and killing pests in your home
Mm.
as a karma.
Very good
What is
question.
his livelihood?
Yes.
What is he actually doing? Akarma. He is harming. He is going against. See, that Brahman is in that cockroach. Brahman is in me also. But the pest control guy's livelihood is that. So
Mhm.
how do we even differentiate? I think the difference in this pest control guy is he is not thinking he is killing the cockroach. He is doing it without attachment or aversion to the cockroach because it brings him bread and butter. And
That's very true. Actually, now actually this is now that you say this, I'd like to talk about butchering animals to eat.
huh,
This is something that I think I'd like to share with you all. Now, there are two ways in which animals are killed. One is, in India at least, one is for food, the other one is for bali. Now, in both cases, the animal knows something bad is going to happen. Now, what happens is, suppose the goat is brought in front of the balipidam. That is there is a place where in temples there is the place where they do the bali. What they do in at least in Tamil Nadu is when the animal is held, they will take some water and throw it at the face of the animal. So that animal is shocked for a second, and when it is in a state of no identity, that animal is slaughtered. This is a very peculiar action. Why should they throw or slash water on the animal's face and disturb its sense of cognition? That means the I in the animal becomes zero for that 1 second. And when the person brings the knife down, the goat has no identity. So the bali is to something that has no identity. But at the same time, if the person who is slaughtering the animal has got a sense of identity, the karma comes to the person but not to the goat. Because the goat has no identity, it has already reached moksha.
what a point, sir. Oh my God. So the one, while he's cutting the goat also, he should have no identity. Oh my
Exactly.
God. That, that's applicable to so many areas now, sir. A hangman who hangs people to death as part
Exactly.
of duty. I mean, how does he do it?
Exactly.
Even think of that profession, isn't it?
Now, do you realize? Now you match that with the pest control chap.
Yes. Amazing, sir. Really.
Similarly, if you eat a meat, okay, let us say that normal in the olden days they would slaughter an animal. When they slaughter the animal, if the animal is normally slaughtered, obviously the animal is in a great state of stress. That karma will come to the person slaughtering it. Direct karma is there. Direct karma is also there for the person who owns the animal that is being slaughtered. Let us say that the animal is slaughtered and sold. Anybody who is eating is also getting impacted by the slaughter. Let us then take how does it physiologically impact the person. The impact is in two ways. One is the various tissues and other things that you eat. They will always have a certain amount of, you will absorb the natural state of the tissue that you put into yourself. Number one. Number two, when the animal is afraid or in a state of distress, the amygdala, the limbic system, is throwing adrenaline and catecholamines to face the threat. So all the muscles are stressed out. The animal is in great distress when the animal is being slaughtered. that impacts the psychosomatic condition of the tissue that is being sold to you as food. So that impacts the way it is getting digested by you, the way it changes your natural state. Let us now compare that with a vegetable. There is stress there also. When you are eating anything that is not natural, there is a karma that is created, which is why before we eat, we have what we call paraseshanam, which is why in our system, all food is first becomes a prasada. That is, it is something that is not ours. It is given to a deity, it becomes a prasada, and from a prasada, it becomes a Neivedyam. That is, it is something that we eat as an offering to something else. So there is no identity in us that comes to us. But at the same time, if it is a bali, and if you eat that meat as a prasada, there is no karma.
Oh,
Do you all get it?
Yes, sir. It is
You,
really so
you
much.
see the nuances.
Yes. Basically, one should not have a thought when one is doing something. Finally, it is coming down to that, no, sir?
Yes.
It's coming
There
down to
should be no
eliminating the
purusha.
thought.
Eliminating the I, the ahankara.
I
I am the doer,
am
the
the doer.
ahankara. Yes.
Yes.
Ultimately, it is a matter of removing ahankara, the purusha, from the action. And that is what I was talking about in the last class. The outside, there is no traffic. Here I am sitting and talking to you all. My bonding is with you all. But is the traffic there? It is. It is going on. The life is going on. But I am not. I'm not engaged with it. The minute I become engaged with it, my purusha becomes engaged with it. I'm creating karma.
Yes.
So that is why. So in terms of food, why we do paraseshanam? Pranaya swaha, apanaya swaha, vyanaya swaha, udanaya swaha, samanaya swaha, brahmane swaha. Swaha means what? Swaha means it is being fed into the fire into the Agni. Swaha is the wife of Agni. So the prana, everything that is a heat, you are sacrificing it into that. All of that is the body. This is the temple, the kshetra. So when you do paraseshanam, that entire thing is going to as a sacrifice to the temple, which is why karma becomes nullified. It's a very subtle thing, but it does not actually get nullified. But you are meant to be taking on the awareness of nullification. The awareness has to be such that the food that you are eating is actually a Neivedya, a prasada. Oh, sorry, a Neivedya. Do you all understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is the subtlety of karma.
I'd like to issue a clarification. Paraseshanam is also known as, it translates to remainder or residue, is a ritual that is done before a meal is eaten. We must recognize that food is eaten to sustain body heat. In our system, in dharma, the heat is a fire. It is generated by Agni. And the wife of Agni, who represents this heat, is svAha. So, Agni is the fire and svAha is the heat generated by fire. The two of them are bonded and they weave together. Therefore, the oblation is made to the heat generated by prana and it flows like air. And so the oblation is made in the following manner. Pranaya swaha for the incoming energy or flow of motility. Apanaya swaha for the flow of heat and excretion. Vyanaya swaha for the flow of body heat and aura. Udanaya svAha for the heat that flows upwards and outwards in the form of personality and in communication. Samanaya svAha for the flow of digestive as well as circulatory heat. Brahmane svAha for the heat required to align one with the source. I'd like to issue an errata also. In the heat of discussion, I confused Neivedyam with prasadam, and I am now clarifying the terms. Neivedya is any offering given to a deity like a Ishtadeva or a favorite deity or a Kuladeva, the family deity. This comes from the root words ni, which means guided movement, and vid, which is to know or knowledge, as in the Vedas. Prasada is a leftover from the offering given to the deity and means tranquility or clarity, which means that the karma is handed over to the deity and the leftover generates tranquility and clarity. The confusion and error is regretted.